Okay, and then there's Brendan. Yay! Okay, and Rio, do you guys want to switch up and sit here maybe? Since you're asking the question. Okay.
What's going on?
Hello, hi Brendan. How are you? It's
Hey.
so good to see you.
You too. Doing well.
Okay, I'm gonna hide so we get that. All right, so we are really excited. You guys are part of our first ever alumni panel. So hang on, I'm gonna get your sound fixed. Okay, let me just test the audio. Can somebody say something?
Yo.
Okay, say it again.
Hello?
Okay, perfect. Okay, much better. Okay, all right. So, I mean, do you have deja vu right now? So many good times. All the good times right here. Not Katie, because she was in. Remember we would always switch classrooms because we got the shittiest classroom?
Yeah,
So,
we were just in like no window, like the horrible like second floor SOC.
yeah, no, we're always in this classroom, which is much better. So I don't know. I think you all follow us on Instagram, but we've had such a run since some of you all have been part of SOC3. We switched, I think after Brendan and Hall's cohort, which was cohort 2, we were like, we have to start making money. So we went and we started to get paying clients. So we've actually had 4 paying clients since then. The Home Depot, Aldi, Expedia, and this semester we're working with Nestle USA. So it's been amazing to see like how much we've progressed, but we still do our pro bono work. We've done League of Women Voters. We've done Washington English Center. We did a bunch of others. So all in all, I think we've had like, I don't know, how many are on the ribbon? 8 clients, 9 clients. So we're rocking and rolling, but we are in a fundraising mode, of which I will tell you more about later. So we basically, in order to survive, we are going to have to raise some money. So part of why we're doing this panel is to, of course, connect with our amazing 6th cohort, but also we want to kind of share your guys' stories because you are just having amazing jobs, and we want to hear more about what you're doing, but also how you think SOC3 helped with that. So without further ado, this over here, this fine group here, raise your hands. This is Rio. I don't even think Rio was something for Chase's cohort, but not for the rest of you. But these are the research, innovation, and operation analysts. So they keep the trains moving. So they're going to be moderating this. So I'm going to hand it over to them.
Hi, we're so excited to have you. Welcome to our SOC3 alumni panel. So we're going to start off with each of you giving an introduction, including where you are currently working, what you do, how long you've been there, and also if you want to highlight any previous positions since graduating, that'd be great. Katie, if you want to start us off, that'd be thank you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Katie. I graduated last May. I am working right now at Mullenlow, which is an ad agency here in New York under IPG. Funny you asked me, I'm actually working 2 roles. One of them is ending this week. So I'm a community manager, and I've worked with KFC, Tropicana, and Geico. But I'm actually switching over to an assistant account executive with Bayer and Scott's Miracle-Gro.
But you're staying at Mullenlow, but you're switching client folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. And congratulations on the promotion. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get the claps from us.
Okay. Chase, if you want to continue it off.
Hi everyone, my name's Chase. So I work at Optimus Consulting here in New York. So we're a public relations and digital marketing agency. So we work in the real estate, jewelry, watch sector. I specifically work on the lifestyle team. Some of our clients include Boucheron, Audemars Piguet, Phillips Auction, things like that. So in the luxury lifestyle, high jewelry watch world. So I actually graduated in May, so not too long ago as well. And then right after graduating, I interned at a different fashion PR agency in the city.
Paul, if you want to go next.
Yeah, I'm Hall, SOC3 cohort number 2, graduated May 2024. Currently a paid media analyst at Overtime in Brooklyn. So we are like a digital content house, and we run a lot of, we own some leagues, and we do a lot of brand partnership stuff. So a lot going on there. I'm on the brand partnerships team, running paid media mostly through social. We work with clients like Adidas, Allstate, Subway, you name it. There's a lot of clients right now. And then before this, I actually started like 20 days ago. So pretty new. But before that, I was a strategy intern at Havas Creative Network from June to September in New York City. So yeah.
There. Abbas is a big name. That's awesome. And say hi to Kellen. Where's Kellen? Oh, over
Where's
there.
Is he hiding? Yeah.
Kellen is here because of you, Hall.
I
Well
every
done.
semester I was on him.
Yeah. He's finally here. He made it. Okay, Brendan, take it away. Oh, sorry, you guys are moderating.
Yeah, Brendan.
Hey guys, I'm Brendan. I work at MNC Saatchi Sport and Entertainment, part of the global MNC Saatchi company. Company has a variety of agencies and firms that do advertising, data marketing. I work at the sport and entertainment firm that we do traditional PR for a lot of lifestyle, food and bev, sport brands. Currently work with Body Armor, Hendrix Gin, Tinder, Milagro Tequila, just a few. And yeah, I graduated in 23. I was in the same cohort as Hall, brand development directors together. And yeah, really happy to be here with you guys.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Next, we wanted to know a little bit more about the interview process that you went through for your current positions, and how do you feel that SOC3 helped you in securing those positions?
I mean, I guess I'll start again. Yeah, so funny story. Okay, first of all, the applying process sucks. I'm going to tell you that much. It's a really rough process. It was a lot of like no's, ghosting, interviews, very stressful interviews that didn't go anywhere. I didn't have anything. I had extended my AU internship until August. I'd applied to this role, like the community manager role, like 2 weeks before I heard back. They reached out to me in July. I had 3 rounds of interview. Funny story, they decided to let me know right before they hired me that they switched it to a freelance position. So I actually am a freelancer, but basically full-time. I've been extended 6 times after a 6-week contract. So now I have an extension of 40 hours a week until July. So for all intents and purposes, it is a full-time. I just don't get insurance, which, you know, that's another panel. But yeah, the interview process, it was very much about describing previous projects. In the ad world, it is very project-based, something you really should have as a portfolio. You know, we're expanding on from ideation to creation, no matter what specialty you're going into. And so for me, SOC3 helped. It's actually on my website. Don't look at my website though, I'm editing it. But I had taken the project we did. I was part of the first cohort, and we worked with DC Central Kitchen, and I sort of broke down that project and how we, you know, met with the client. We found the objectives, what their problem was, how we solved it, showed the finished product. And that was a really important part of the interview process, because they ask you to speak on your skills and how you think through things, because it's very much a process-based industry. So that is kind of how SOC3 helped with that.
Yeah, I guess I'll go next. So I was actually approached while I was at my internship before getting this position by a recruiter. So I technically had 3 interviews. So I had like an introductory call with him just to kind of see where my skill set was, and even if I was, qualified for the role, candidly. And then I moved on and I had one virtual interview, and then I had one in-person interview. So it was a relatively, probably like 3-week process, start to finish, which I would say is definitely not the norm. I think I got very lucky that things got rolling pretty quick. But in terms of talking about my SOC3 experience, I think definitely echoing what Katie said, just having a point of view and having an opinion about things I feel like is really important. And I think that's SOC3 really gives you those tools and kind of that toolbox to see something A to Z. And so just like being creative, being innovative. I think Professor Kumar does a great job of reminding us that like we have really young minds and like those minds are like in demand right now. Like when it comes to having cool and different ideas, like you're probably a lot more tapped in than like you even think, and you can be like a huge asset to the team. So I would say definitely just getting your toolbox and being able to speak to your experience. I'm not sure how many of you all are actual PR majors. I know for our program we have to do a portfolio for our capstone, but I would definitely say put like your all into that, really put like your best players on the floor, for like a lack of better words, and like really showcase what you can do. Because I think for like the seniors in the room, like you'd be really surprised like how much work we've actually done from start to finish. So yeah.
Yeah, I would just say in terms of how SOC3 kind of helped me in the interview process, I think especially when it comes to interviewing at companies and applying and stuff, like you kind of have to realize like in terms of like your background and stuff, like no one cares what you went to school, no one cares what you studied. Like you need to be able to speak to like real experiences. Like stuff like that will get you in the door, but as soon as you like actually have to talk to someone, you have to be able to speak to like interact with the clients and deliverables and things like that. And I think just knowing like the landscape and SOC3, we had to talk to the 11th Street Bridge Park clients and go back and forth with them, and there's problems, and it kind of gives you that like uh overarching baseline of like what working in like an agency setting is like. So I think honestly, like without that, I couldn't have, spoken to that, especially like given the barrier to entry for like internships and jobs and things like that. Like if you can't speak to that stuff in an interview, you're not getting a job, you're not getting the internship. So I think, especially, when it comes to kind of mapping out your career, SOC3 really helped me like snowball into using that experience to then get another internship in PR, and then I'm into sports entertainment, so I got an internship in sports PR, and then using that experience to transition to advertising, and then just kind of snowballing. So I think SOC3 for me personally was really like the catalyst for like figuring out what I wanted to do, and it kind of opened a ton of doors for me in terms of kind of snowballing my experience into and shaping what I actually want to be doing. So
With my position, I was connected with someone at AU, put in a good word for me, and that's how I got my interview. But when looking at the impact of SOC3, I put it into two categories, two main takeaways. One was understanding the big picture. So what I mean by that is when I was going into interviews, I mean, just for context, I was a journalism major. I'm in a very traditional PR role right now. I came into the role not with a ton of PR skills. I didn't take PR focused classes at AU, but what SOC3 taught me was understanding what it's like to work with a client telling you, this is our story, this is our messaging, this is how we want the world to see us. And when I talked to the interviewers or the interviewers, and they told me about the clients they worked with, they told me about where their agency plays a role in the bigger picture, that clicked very quickly to me because I had been there going to the offices of our clients with SOC3. I had spoken face to face with our clients, and they had said, this is our goal. This is how we want to be seen. Can you guys help us creatively do that? And so learning those skills on the way come naturally. You get people that you're in the workplace who teach you. People are very kind to people coming into the office. And I learned those coming in. And the skills just came along the way. But they came because I understood the big picture. And understanding that allowed me to really pick it up quick. I'm in my second year now, and I think sometimes I see kids coming in their first year, they're so focused on learning how to do the concrete task itself. And okay, so I have to make the media list like this or write a pitch like that. But they're not thinking as much about the bigger picture. Where does our agency play a role for this brand? How are we helping this brand? What are we doing for them? And so SOC3 really helped me understand that and see the big picture. And in my interviews, maybe I wasn't talking about specific skills, but I showed the interviewers that I understand what you want or what you are doing for the brand. So that's just one, understanding the big picture. And then the second thing is exactly what Chase said. You guys are wanted. We are all wanted. I didn't really understand this until after I had gotten the job and I was seeing other people applying. But I mean, I'm going on brainstorms and talking with directors who are saying, Brendan, like you're closer to the demographic of this brand. What do you really think? What are you seeing? And I slowly understood that I'm wanted. What I have to say, the thoughts I have, being part of Gen Z, being part of our demographic, whatever your unique demographic that you're a part of, that is wanted. And so showing your enthusiasm and motivation to share your unique creative input is wanted. So in interviews, I understood that and I was enthusiastic about that. I said, like, I'm very excited to share my own unique input. And people want to hear that because there are so many different marketing ideas that have been played out over the years. And so everybody's looking for something new. And that's what we have, something new.
Thank you so much for that. And some of you touched on this next question a little bit already, but we have a lot of seniors in the room and second semester juniors. So if you could share any tips in terms of networking and the job search as a whole, any advice on what you think worked and even things that you thought were just not helpful at all would be really appreciated.
Well, Brendan just said a lot of like very inspirational things, so I'm gonna go in the complete opposite direction. I want to be honest with you because I was going through it last year, this time last year. I know how it is. If you have something lined up, that is fantastic. If you don't, that is so okay. And I don't know if it's because I have Latino parents or like had a very traditional upbringing, but it was very much like you need a job after graduation, right? Like a college degree should get you a job. Unfortunately, that's not the case today, especially in the ad industry. I know in the PR industry and so many industries, it's hard. It's hard for people with 10, 20 years of experience to get a job. I'm freelance because they can't like afford giving me a full-time job. It happens and it is okay. I know someone who graduated with me and just got an internship. That's okay. Work is work and you're going to get a lot of no's before you hear a yes, but that yes is going to be so amazing. The best things you can do to network, reach out to people. I DM'd the CEO of Mullen and now I'm here. I have DM'd really high up people. I have reached out to recruiters. This is such a people-based industry. It's all about who you know. And I'm sure everyone here can attest to this. I saw a couple of you maybe added me on LinkedIn already. Add a note. Always add a note because I think it just like shows interest and also stranger danger. I don't want to just add random people on LinkedIn, but like in all seriousness, reach out. Like even if you don't think you have like no connection with them. If they did theater and you did theater in high school, then reach out and be like, oh my gosh, hi, what's your favorite musical? And also, do you have time to just chat? And when you have these coffee chats, don't come in just being like, I want a role. A lot of people want roles. Show interest, take time. I have had so many informational interviews sitting down with people in the industry in all different careers, and I've just asked them the most random things. When I was in your shoes, I didn't know a lot about the ad world. Now I do because I got to talk with people and understand and know how each agency works. So that's like the biggest advice I can give you. Have a portfolio, check out VCU Brand Center. They have a lot of student example of portfolios. And just keep applying. It's hard. It sucks. You're going to hit a wall. Go out and take a walk. Have a little sweet treat. I miss the Dav chai, so if anyone's there, please get it for like in my honor. But in all seriousness, like it's going to be rough. And that's the best advice I can give you. Just take care of yourself.
I definitely agree with everything Katie is saying. I feel like it's so like when you hear the word like networking, like it's kind of like we hear it so much. It's like, what does that even really mean? But like again, what Katie was saying, like when you're having these coffee chats, like come with actionable items. Like people are busy and they do not have time for you to be like, oh, like I'm not really sure. Like come with some writing samples, come with some ideas, like really sell yourself, come with like an elevator pitch because like yeah, this is a very, very people-based industry and you have to talk. Like you just have to. And I get it. I feel like I still really even struggle with like the imposter syndrome a bit and like really even opening my mouth. But I think it just goes back to my prior point that like AU has given you good tools. I can definitely guarantee you all that. Even if you can't like completely see through it now, like those skills are there. So really lean on them and believe in yourself and have a lot of grit because there is a lot of rejection. There's a lot of ghosting. There's a lot of just jobs may get back to you like 6 months later and they already filled the position. Like just there's not a lot of, like courtesy on the applicant side all the time. Like don't let that deter you at all. Another piece of advice I would say is also like reach out to younger alumni. I know it's like it could be nice and like aspirational to like reach out to people who are doing super, super well or like, but people that are also, I feel like really young in their career, like might have some like good words of wisdom as well. And even more time, if I'm being super honest, to like kind of give you that mentorship and, help you kind of figure out some things and get some clarity. Sorry if I'm talking fast, you guys. But another thing I want to say is like during the downtime of like between interviews, like basically the type of PR, the type of work you want to do, like become an expert in that. And like, at least for me on like the fashion lifestyle side, it already kind of leans towards my natural interest and inclination. But like, I really, really, I feel like post graduation, like became a student of like fashion media or lifestyle media. And I think that that's something that you can really do in your downtime. Hopefully you all want to do some type of work that you're passionate about. So it's not like too much of a lift. But I think that that's like a good way to kind of fill that idle time between, applying and landing something.
Yeah, the first thing I guess I would say, something that I learned, right after graduating is that you kind of have to just let go of any preconceived notions or like any ego you have about like what you think you bring to the table. I think you should always carry like that sense of self with you, but like you have to understand that you're in an experience deficit when it comes to like the corporate world. And you're gonna have to do things and make sacrifices and, be agile when it comes to like getting a job, applying, all that. Like some of the stuff is gonna suck. Like I, this summer was waking up at 6 in the morning, commuting from New Jersey to New York every day for an internship. And if I told myself like if I told you like 6 months before that I saw myself doing an internship post grad, I would say no. I worked like two internships while I was in school. But you kind of have to just like relinquish that kind of preconceived notion that, you um have that experience because especially when it comes to transitioning between like PR to advertising or like creatives, things like that, like you need that concrete experience. And yeah, like it does suck sometimes to like, sacrifice getting a lower pay or having to commute and doing things like that. But I think when you put that sacrifice in, like you're gonna thank yourself, down the line. In terms of I think networking in general, I know Katie kind of touched on this, but just like being super creative and having like a unique angle, I think goes a long way. Traditionally you're told to, reach out to your alumni of American or, alumni of your high school or things like that. But I think that that's fine. You should do that as well. But I think that finding like use LinkedIn and use any resource you have, like go as deep as you can. Like if there's a person at a company that you know that you like and they wrote an article about something or they worked on this specific project, like especially in PR and the ad world and the creative world, like people are always posting what they're doing. That almost everyone has a website, especially in the ad world. Like go stalk their website, go stalk their LinkedIn, like find out what makes them tick and see if there's like a red thread or connection there. I think the biggest thing in terms of like differentiation is just like having like your own, as crazy as it sounds, like having your own personal brand. Like everyone in this room has like a unique point of view and unique interests. Draw those like and cross them over into your work and like your POV and your experiences. And like everyone also has like unique background, especially in SOC3. So I think finding people who kind of match up with that red thread, that can go a lot longer of a way than, just being an alumni. Even if you have like virtually no connection to this person. So I just think be super creative, be agile, and definitely just always be your biggest advocate, because especially what I've learned the past year is that like no one is just going to give you an opportunity. Like you have to go get it yourself. You have to like hit up that person two or three times. It's like you're going to have to relinquish that that ego and that uh that fear of rejection. So yeah.
Yeah, can't agree enough with Hall about just having your own brand and making it known why you're unique. I mean, from start to finish of the whole application process, when looking for jobs, I mean, it's easy to just scroll through LinkedIn. I think a recommendation I have is sifting through like Ad Age or Adweek. They post a lot of different news that brands are doing, that companies are doing, moves they're making, and they're always crediting the agencies. They're always crediting the different firms that are behind that. So going through that, scanning through the news, that's always good. Seeing like, oh, that's a really inspirational campaign. I love that work they're doing. I wonder what agency they worked with to do that. Um, yeah, I mean, going through LinkedIn, I'm like looking at us, people like here, like me, Hall, Katie, Chase, like what connections we have though, not just us four, but like, okay, I'm gonna connect with Hall. How many Hall has 500 connections? Let me scan through all of Hall's connections. That's what Professor Kumar really harped when I was in SOC3, and what I would do, I would just like sit for like an hour and I would look through like her connections. I would find someone who she had worked with 20 years ago, and I would see, okay, he's cool, what did he do, what are his connections, and just go down this path of finding different people and unique experiences. And oh, this guy also did journalism, but he then turned into PR. That's what I want to do. So finding people like that, reaching out to people, and yeah, like I said, sifting through the news. I think it's if you're getting sick of LinkedIn in during like a session of just applying, going just to brand websites, seeing their work. I think if you were to write a cover letter for that company or for that agency, you really got to understand what they're doing. And so when you're writing that cover letter, you have to understand what are they doing, and what you're writing in the cover letter is saying, this is how I'm going to fit into what you're doing. This is how I can help with what you're doing. So yeah, that's important. And then, I mean, once you get an interview, to me, looking back, like the interview is everything. That's where you have the floor. You have a platform when you have an interview. In a cover letter, you're not able as much to show your facial expressions, your reactions to when they ask a question. In an interview, you're able to do that. You're able to show that enthusiasm. I mean, I mean, my one of my interviews with a VP at my agency, she was talking about soccer, and my eyes just lit up. I'm a huge soccer fan, and we just went on this sidetrack of just talking about soccer back and forth. And I was talking about some campaigns I had seen with like Budweiser and the World Cup, and I was just getting very enthusiastic about it. So showing what drives you, what makes you excited during an interview is really important, because that's what makes you unique. What drives you, what excites you. And then last thing, I think during an interview, and something that I always asked is, what would a successful person in this role look like in 6 months? At the end of every interview, I would always ask that. I think to me, it would always help me understand, okay, so that's what someone successful looks like. Is that what I want? Is that what I want to be doing in 6 months? It helps you understand if it feels realistic to you. It helps you understand what the expectations are. And it also shows the interviewer like he wants to be they want to be successful. This person wants to be successful. They want to know how to get there. So that's a question I would recommend asking. And yeah, I think everybody else in this panel said a bunch of great points. But yeah.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys can see me, but if there's any like last words of wisdom or anything you guys would like to
There he is.
impart about your SOC3
We're gonna open up for questions.
experience, yeah, or SO3 in general, that you guys would like to share. That
The question was like talking about
SOC3 specifically, yeah.
Okay, cool. I was in the very first cohort, so I'm sure it's
It
changed.
was so messy. I feel like I should apologize to Katie. I mean, it was like a disaster in
But
some.
I will say, I actually had thoughts on this. It was a little hectic. I am very grateful for it. I think so. I was a dual degree business administration and film and media arts. So I was like sitting in your room, like surrounded by PR people, like feeling major imposter syndrome. Um, Kogot doesn't do SOC3. For all their money, they're just putting it into like art in that building because they do not do SOC3. First of all, they're not paying you $1,000, but you're not getting this experience. I didn't know about ad agencies until my senior year. I majored in business, specialized in marketing. It was not a possibility to me. This SOC3 was the first opportunity to touch fun client work. You know, I have done corporate internships. I worked with WMATA, the transit agency. Like, I've done that stuff. And to me, like, I'm sitting on my couch in a hoodie right now, guys. Like, I do not give off transit vibes. I very much wanted to do fun things.
I will say, Katie, I will say you definitely knew exactly what you wanted. And so when I saw
Did
that
I?
you did
Oh
yes,
my
at Mullen and Lowe, I was like, oh my God, like amazing. And I think for all of you, you all had a vision. I mean, Brendan knew that he didn't want to do journalism. He knew he wanted to transition. And then you went there. I mean, Hall, he was in my case studies class. He wrote about live and golf. And now you're doing like sports. Like it's like you all made your dreams happen. And Chase, oh my God, my glamour girl, like not at all a shock that this is like the exactly where you ended up doing. I'm sure even in my case studies class, your RE paper was in luxury brands. Like you knew exactly what you wanted to do. So I think you guys are such a testament to like you can dream big. Those dreams will come true. It's going to be hard to get there, but you all did it. Like I'm like my heart is like singing with pride right now. And we just did an impact video which you'll see soon. It'll be going live, and it's like you started cohort 1, cohort 2, cohort 5, no 4, cohort 4, and now we're on cohort 6. It's almost 100 students, like right, and you're all out in the world. So from my perspective, you're all rock stars. Like you're amazing. I want to give the class, so we do have a lot of seniors here, just a chance to ask any other questions that you might have. Don't be intimidated by these guys. I know they're there, but they worked hard to get here. And again, I also say like AU sets you up. Like don't like it truly does. Like don't like anybody can get what they have, right? And you all especially have those skills as well. So anybody want to come up and ask any questions? Come up, Vanessa. Oh, one creative manager to the other. Katie was our first creative manager. Vanessa just did this amazing video. So
Hi, thank you so much for talking with us. I'm Vanessa. Some of you mentioned like your portfolios and how that's a really important aspect of finding a job. And I was just wondering if you have any recommendations for creating a strong and effective portfolio, like what that process looked like for you, and yeah.
oh, and what site?
Yeah, what sites you primarily used, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I use Wix because it's free. And then I mentioned this earlier, go to VCU Brand Center. It is basically if you're going into advertising, and I feel like PR gets too, but VCU Brand Center is literally a place where you get a master's degree in advertising. And what they do is they publish all of their previous student portfolios, and some of them are specializing in copywriting or strategy or art direction. And that is a great template. You're going to revise your portfolio. I'm revising it right now. It's miserable. I hate revising my portfolio, but I like constantly change my aesthetic. But just look online. A lot of people have them linked to their LinkedIn and stuff, but I really would recommend just VCU. And you'll see the pattern of like breaking down the projects and how to introduce yourself and put your personal brand into it.
Yeah, I personally used Squarespace just because when I wrote for Blackprint, that was what I was familiar with. So I would say it's like pretty like user friendly if you have any background in that. But I've also heard that Wix is really good as well. I think for my portfolio, I think I did a lot of like kind of subcategories. So I did kind of like my textbook PR writing in like certain sections, like a press release or like a media alert or something like that. But then I also took like speech writing. I think I took like a social media class too. So I put some like deliverables and like something like that, just like kind of structure it so that if someone were to scan it, they're like, okay, no, they can do this, this, this. Oh, that's nice that they can also do this. So like kind of make it like a quick read, if you will. Definitely have like an about tab where I kind of did it where I did like part of my elevator speech was like part of my introduction, like, oh, I'm Chase, a cute picture of me, what I do, yada, yada, yada. And like write with like some personality, I would say, like obviously keep it professional and serious, but like show a little bit. I think that that's, again, professionally and not too playful, but I think that like employers appreciate seeing that. Um, I would just say like really take your time and like Katie said, like it's okay to revise it. I went through like 3 different iterations before I turned my final one in that I really felt like was a good representation of me. Um, I would say that. I would say even if you have any like clubs or like if you did any like student media or anything like that, I would definitely include that in your portfolio as well. Because as we were all talking about personal branding, things we're passionate about, kind of what you stand for as a person, how can you communicate that in like a more unconventional way as well?
I'll just add real quick. I think especially, being in college, like I said before, like you're in an experience deficit. You don't have a ton to like pull a portfolio out of. Be like be creative. Like you got to finesse. Like SOC3 is perfect. Like take who's the client this year? Sorry, Expedia?
Nestle.
Nestle. If you had an idea for Nestle or you had some thought that like you guys couldn't do or like the budget is too big like it's just like any thoughts you had or anything like make a deck or like make a project for Nestle like it doesn't have to go anywhere and no one has to see it like be conceptual be creative and then when you're in an interview or you're sending someone your portfolio you can say like I legitimately worked for Nestle with SSE3 I did all this cool stuff and I also conceptualized this campaign so you can take that, like, no one at Nestle is ever going to see it. Maybe. I don't know. But, like, take that and just kind of run with it. Like, you kind of have to just fake it till you make it. I interned at a PR agency remotely last fall of my senior year. And one of our clients was Angel Reese. And she just inked this deal with Reebok. And I literally did nothing besides like clip media for this agency. It was like one of the worst internships I ever had. Like it was awful. But I made this deck with Angel Reese and Reebok and like all these ideas I had and stuff. And I was able to like speak to that and kind of connect it. And it kind of legitimizes your experience without actually having the experience. You know what I mean? So just 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 fake it till you make it. I think that's my best advice.
Are there any other questions? Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead, Brenda.
No, honestly, look, they hit it all. They hit it all.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sure you're gonna get like 18 LinkedIn invitations with a note because they listened to you and they said send a note. I think that's really, somebody just reached out to me from the University of Toronto wanting to interview me, was a student, but it was like she might as well have gone into Chat GPT. There was nothing like it was just like, generic. It had nothing to, and I just said, sorry, I don't have time. I mean, truth, right? But had she taken even a second to Google me and say, I want to talk specifically about this and this, I would have given her the time. But because she didn't take the time, I didn't take the time. Sorry, I know that sounds horrible to you guys, but that's the truth, right? That's exactly what happens. We cannot wait for you to see, we are launching a major fundraising campaign. So you're going to see all of our cool assets. This group has been working so hard. And we are just so excited that you guys are like our success. So thank you so, so much. I'm so proud of all of you. It's like amazing. And anything, of course, anything you need, I'm always here for you too. That never goes away. So see you all. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.